Hello and welcome to Balcony is Closed. I'm Duncan.
And I'm Finnegan.
And here we are bringing you our review for a very highly anticipated movie, for us at least,
Yes.
X-Men Apocalypse. Now, we were really looking forward to this movie. We have enjoyed both X-Men First Class, which is, in my opinion, the best X-Men movie, and X-Men Days of Future Past. So we were really excited to see what this movie had in store, to see if it rounded out this trilogy well.
Yeah, so it's summertime. There are going to be superhero movies. We already had Civil War. And following up on that, it had got a lot to live up to from both the previous X-Men film and the previous superhero films this summer. X-Men Apocalypse was a movie that was not loved by everybody.
Yeah.
Critics were a little harsh on it. Fans were even a little bit harsh on it. Didn't get terrible reviews, but got negative reviews, which is surprising for me because I very much enjoyed this movie.
I really did enjoy this movie a lot. It did not disappoint for me. However, and if you don't know much about X-Men or you're not a fan, I don't think that this movie will be too much enjoyment for you.
You are going to be absolutely lost. There are things that tie into the past two movies. There are going to be things that tie into the original three movies, and even maybe X-Men Origins Wolverine. Because there are X-Men you see in here, younger versions of them, X-Men that you know and love from the original films, like Cyclops and Jean Grey and Nightcrawler and everybody like that. So, you really kind of have a knowledge of X-Men if you really want to get the full experience of this film.
But this movie introduces probably the biggest villain in X-Men history, and this is Apocalypse. And Apocalypse was the first mutant ever, and now he has come back to life to persuade X-Men or mutants to join him in his conquest of the world. And he will assemble 4 mutants to try to help him build a better world for mutants, and the X-Men are going to have to stop him.
The 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, if you will. He is bringing the end of all things. Big battles, lots of destruction.
Yeah.
And a big film, probably the biggest of any X-Men film. There are very huge scale, battles and imagery.
Yeah.
But a lot of it, of the action, is low in character, especially for Magneto. He gets a fantastic few moments in this movie and a fantastic storyline, great motivation.
Mm-hmm.
There's a scene in the early bits of the movie that is fantastic.
Yeah.
And that for me is when the movie really started to get going.
Charles Xavier gets some great scenes. Havoc even has some very emotional scenes. So this movie does also work on a character level and an emotional level rather than just a giant city destruction movie.
Yeah, and I kind of want to talk about the cast, especially the new cast, because, you bring in James McAvoy, he's going to be great, and he is great. You bring in Michael Fassbender, he's going to be great, he's great.
Yeah, we all
I
know.
wanted to talk about Sophie Turner and Ty Sheridan and Oscar Isaac, especially because they're new to this world.
Yeah.
They've never been here before. I'm going to say that all 3 of them were very good.
Mm-hmm.
Sophie Turner from Game of Thrones was very good as Jean Grey. I really bought her and the drama that went along with the character. Ty Sheridan as Cyclops was great. But Oscar Isaac as Apocalypse was the one I was nervous about. It looked from the trailers that maybe we were getting Ronan the Accuser from Guardians of the Galaxy, who was not a good villain.
Yeah, or Malekith from Thor the Dark World.
Oh,
kind of just a big bad guy with generic personality. I really found Apocalypse menacing in this movie. I was intimidated. He gives these amazing speeches that are just kind of scary, but then awesome.
I think one of the things that is really bringing people to these movies now, especially this new one after Days of Future Past, is the character of Quicksilver. Quicksilver is what everybody is talking about. Again, we saw it in 2014, now we're seeing it in 2016. When we watched Days of Future Past before seeing Apocalypse, we watched that time in the bottle scene, the one that everybody loves now. It's one of the great superhero movie moments.
Oh yeah.
And I said, no way they're going to top it. They top it.
Yeah, the scene with Quicksilver in this movie, I'm not going to spoil it, because I didn't know what it was going into the movie, and I was so surprised and pleased. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's just perfect.
It's hysterical.
It is the funniest thing. My theater was cracking up. The visuals are amazing, and I think it beats that scene from Days of Future Past. Definitely in scale and the way it's shot and creativity. The song, once again, is amazing.
Now it's time to be a little bit of a pessimist. What are some things you didn't like about it?
I wouldn't call it pessimism, but I'd definitely call it being honest. There were a couple phoned-in performances here, particularly, and people are saying this Jennifer Lawrence as Mystique.
I'm so sad.
Yes,
because I love Jennifer Lawrence. She's a great actress.
Yes.
I think she really has the chops, and she brought it in First Class. But from Days of Future Past, you could sort of saw hints of her sort of not caring. And this one, she really, really phones it in.
Why would you focus on that character who doesn't want to be there when you can focus on someone like Storm or Psylocke, who, in my opinion, get way too little screen time?
Yeah, and as you said before, non-X-Men fans will be absolutely lost. This film will go right over their heads, so I have no idea what they're talking about. And even though I enjoy the movie a lot, I have to dock it for that.
Yeah.
A film that alienates that many people, has to be doing something wrong.
Yeah, even though I wasn't personally bothered by this because I know all the X-Men stuff, I could see why many people could be very easily lost in this film.
The action is great. The movie is very, very funny. The visuals are mostly very good. The characters are great. I'm going to give X-Men Apocalypse a B+. Go out and see this as many times as you want to if you're an X-Men fan.
I had a ton of fun in this movie, and I could see why someone would be a little irritated how they couldn't understand the story. But I personally didn't have a problem with that. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to take off points of the movie because it did that, and it alienates a viewing audience like that. So I'm also going to give it a B+. I'm going to push your grade. X-Men fans, you're going to love it. I know I loved seeing it.
Alright, so thanks for watching our review of X-Men Apocalypse. Let me ask you this. What X-Men do you want to see in the next X-Men movie? There are a lot of X-Men that we haven't covered. Make it a villain or a hero, whatever you want. Who do you want to see in the next X-Men movie?
Me, personally, other than, again, seeing more of Storm and Psylocke, I'd like to see maybe X-23. That would be a lot of fun. Also, maybe the resurrection of Banshee, because I like Banshee.
Yeah, Banshee was cool. I'm still crossing my fingers for Gambit. And can we get Deadpool in there? Maybe just for a cameo?
That
would be great.
That would be awesome.
Alright, so thanks for watching this video. We love making these videos, and we thank you for supporting us. And for that, please leave a like and a subscribe and a comment, and we'll be sure to see you next time for another movie review. Bye.